Nick Suriano, ranked number 2 in the country. Undefeated 14-0, coming off a Midlands championship, the first in program history. And Brakan Mead, he'll get the nod today in place of Nate Tomasello. Tomasello went Friday, but just didn't make sense for him to go this afternoon.
Well, if you're not ready, it's not, you may not be ready, but it's your second match back, and have a match with that much significance here that may be the big match here for seedings in the tournament. When I say tournament, the Big Ten tournament. So that decision was made early. They communicated it to Coach Goodale and his staff that the likelihood of Tomasello being there wasn't great, but he is back in the lineup. Nice takedown there by Suriano. That Midlands tournament was pretty impressive. He was, workmanlike in a lot of his matches.
Red, you're in control. Neutral.
Looks good at the weight. Really strong.
Of course, came over from Penn State. And Coach Goodale said the Midlands, that was good for him. He got some adversity, tough match with Rivera from Northwestern in the semis, and then beat Ronnie Bresser from Oregon State 2-1 and got challenged.
Well, when you say challenge, maybe not necessarily as much, physically, but just you're just in tight matches. And then that's this. You see the takedown, and he's got the chance to go ahead and get the Turk going there with bottom leg. But being under that pressure of just being in tight matches, where any move, any sequence could be able to go against you, that's important to be able to go ahead. And I don't care what anybody says, there's going to be tight matches in this guy's future, as good as he is. And Ronnie Bresser, we see that from Oregon State, he was able to kind of keep his match tight with Spencer Lee and get the inside trip, late in the match and come away with the win in that hotly contested bout. And that's just what's going to happen. You're going to have guys that can slow a match down or just flat out good enough to be able to go with you, and you've got to be able to go ahead and work through. Good job right there. Good call on the takedown as Mead rolls over his rear end there. So 3 good attacks already in the first 2 minutes for Suriano.
Mead, a true freshman. 3-time place winner in Ohio and an Ohio State title last year as a senior at 113.
Caution. Right,
of course, Suriano, decorated high school career at Bergen Catholic.
Bottom man gets set.
Just the four-time New Jersey State champion, all-time, only wrestler in the Garden State to match his 4 individual titles with 4 team championships. And you look, Jim, at this weight class in the Big Ten. Suriano, Tomasello, Spencer Lee, for the Hawkeyes, officially had that red shirt removed on Friday, not to mention an NCAA finalist in Ethan Lezak.
Yeah, and so all have different qualities. Obviously, Tomasello being down a weight, it's going to that's why he's got the higher ranking, but or can have the higher ranking, but it depends.
Gotta work up, Green.
But this guy Suriano is built to win tight matches in this style. Being able to go ahead and do what he's doing right now. He can go ahead and turn with the legs. He rides the wrist real well. He's very tough to score on. He's big for the weight class. He's strong. And he's just got it's not really a meanness to him, but just a little confidence that he possesses that works guys.
Jim, I would say this, with all due respect, I'm going to argue that point. This guy might be the meanest guy on the mat. Make no mistake about it, this guy likes to punish.
Bottom man set, cover proper.
I got trapped in an elevator with him last year, and I don't want to say trapped is not a good word. He was representing Penn State at the time, and it was right after the Iowa match with Gilman. And it was interesting. I got a full dose of, because I asked him the question, I said, what'd you think about your match with and Thomas Gilman? Of course, Thomas goes on to be the world team member and get second in the world and get an international career. But he had bravado and confidence right in that moment, and you can tell he walks around with it. And I think he believes that he works hard enough to be able to go ahead and say anything he wants about anybody, and he's out there to test his opponent's heart.
And that was really his only true loss, of course, at the national duels in Stillwater against Oklahoma State. Suffered that what became a season-ending injury, and there you see just driving through and finishing.
Yeah, gets to the leg, and this is, you know, everything stuff in the head. It makes the guys work their necks, arms, lower backs. You know, think about it if you're Suriano. You were still preparing for Tomasello to walk out there on the mat. You weren't thinking about wrestling. I mean, you were still, that was your thought. You know, I wanted to be able to wrestle this guy. He wasn't healthy, but you don't know that. You don't know if so you got to be prepared. So if somebody switches something up, coaches have been known to do that for a while. But I'm not saying that would be Tom's intent or anything. We took him at his word. But as the athlete, you've got to be prepared to wrestle Tomasello.
2 more inside of 30 seconds, 13-4.
Neutral.
They'll release and expect him to get right back in on the legs. (19-0) Ohio State. There's a double leg.
Yeah, and I think that's where you're gonna have to see improvement in his attack rate is just by, and I think that when you see him faking, going, in, out, getting a little bit better angle, working the head hard. He's just, he's really on his game when he's working. You can see that Donnie Pritzloff is really into this match.
Green takes defense.
Donnie Pritzloff, 2-time national champion for the Badgers, was actually an assistant coach under Tom Ryan at Hofstra, and Tom had nothing but glowing things to say about Donnie Pritzloff.
Well, again, both these guys, Scott Goodale, a New Jersey product, coach at the high school level, so he's got a lot of respect there. And then also, Pritzloff has been one of the shining stars, winning national titles and
work up, Green.
Now coming back home. And so he identifies with all these guys. There's the work I'm talking about. Stuff in the head, getting the good short offense.
But green, neutral. We're neutral. Get out of the face.
The faking and going, and, the things that will work on the guys at the highest level.
125 here in the third. Suriano looking to keep his undefeated record intact, 14-0 on the season. There's a shot for Mead, but stopped by Suriano to go behind.
Never hit a knee there, just on his toes. And what I look at is the pace of the upper body keeping up with the lower body, keeping up with the upper body. He's always got good ties and everything, and now his feet are in good position to be able to go ahead and take those shots.
And this is where he loves to be, in this top position.
Doesn't have the leg hooked high enough. He's going to go back to working for the takedown.
A lot of times he'll get a leg Turk on top.
Again, he has riding time, so it's a 21. So he needs 2 takedowns. There's 1.
2 red.
Unless he rides him for 30.
Still red. Neutral. Center.
25 seconds. Gonna switch off to a double leg.
Yep, see, you got to keep him down. Yep, so 20, actually.
Tech fall.
Tech fall, yep, right there.
Nick Suriano brings the Rutgers crowd to their feet. A tech fall for Nick Suriano, ranked number 2 in the country.
These fans glad to have him back in the state of New Jersey.